Welcome back to another member interview here at the Hussla Squad and the System. And today we interviewed Hailie, who is a brand new member of both the Hussla Squad Platinum and the System. And she is going to actually be vlogging her journey similar to PlatinumPete on an Instagram account named Hussla Hailie. Make sure you get the spelling right. In this interview, we actually discussed a lot of different topics, including a funny story about how she came across us, talk about females and punting and how her girlfriends all lose on the punt. And when she got into this, they thought it was a scam. It's a really interesting segue into a world that we haven't really discussed or talked about that much. And the stereotypes around females and punting was also discussed throughout the podcast. Hailie also speaks about how her obsession with multis throughout the AFL season has now become an obsession with making money and getting her account set up in the right way so that she can now make money risk-free as opposed to relying on multi-bets and same-game multis. If you have any questions for Hailie, you can message her on her Instagram account, HusslaHailie, and you can also use her code to get access to a discount, which will be in her Instagram bio going forward. We hope everyone enjoys this one. And as always, all relevant links will be in the description below. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today we've got our first female guest, Hailie. We're going to call her Hussla Hailie from now on. So welcome to the podcast, Hailie.
Thank you. Welcome.
So you found yourself here today. You're a fresh member to both the System and the Platinum Squad. You haven't wasted your time getting into both. Let's start off with how you found us, because apparently it's a bit of a funny story. I thought it was from Twitter, but... Yeah.
No, so I actually come across you guys during the AFL season, and I think I watched your first, like the System's first little clip, and you guys were kind of going on about units and horse tipping, and I was like, oh, no, I bet on the AFL, like I'll be fine. And I think I had a pretty good win with Jeremy Cameron, so I was like, oh, you know, I'm making a bit of money, it doesn't really matter. And now that I look back on it, I just think, no, you weren't making money at all. Like, you're depositing every week and you're never really winning. Like, when you bet on your own, you just like sort of going down with your graph. But with obviously the System and Hussla now, it's consistently going up, or it's plateauing and then going up. So it's definitely worth investing, in my opinion. So I come across you guys first, and then I went straight to your packages. I think I watched about 30 seconds of your video, thought, what are these blokes on about? Went to your packages, saw the prices, thought, nah, I'm good. And then I avoided it.
Sure, a lot of people do.
That's
do
interesting to hear. And then
what happened after that? I was actually subscribed to somewhere before, like maybe a year or so ago, and they just send out tips, and that was about $14 a week. I think that's average.
Yeah.
And I thought, why would I pay $200 for 3 months for tips? Like when I was paying $14, but I didn't realize the concept because I didn't go through your video.
Of
so
course.
I didn't realize.
No, that's fine. It's interesting to hear this because I'm sure so many people, like maybe even end up watching this, do the exact same thing. I have no doubt so many people would click on it and go, fuck, $99 a month. Like, as if I'm going to pay that. Like, what the fuck are these clowns on about? So, yeah, it's interesting to see that, or to hear that you felt that way at the start anyway.
Yeah.
What do you, sorry to interrupt, what do you mean by tips versus now what you're getting? Like, what was the difference straight up?
So the other person that I had subscribed to was just sending out tips for like baseball, NBA, some horses here and there, like the golf, I think we bet on once, and I was like having a little win of this or that, and then like pretty much losing, and just started betting on random sports that I didn't even know, thinking, well, he's doing it, he's sending him, like it must be right, I'll just bet on this. And then I started betting more on the NBA, not even watching the sport, not even following it. Started betting on the golf, which couldn't tell you how it works.
Yeah, so were you like, was he sending out units or literally just bet on this?
Yeah, just like JP's gonna win the world tour, bet on him, put $10, you'll be good to go.
That's such an interesting concept though, because I spoke about this when I sent that voice recording about mail into the free chat. Like, for somebody that doesn't know anything about those sports, if somebody says this person's going to win, or you're paying for a service, this guy's going to win, this tip's going to win, you instantly think that they know what they're talking about because you have no idea. So you think that, sure, this guy's, he's charging for a service. He must know what he's talking about. There are other people paying for this. If he says it's going to win, I'm going to bet on it. And, it takes a while for people to clue in. Sometimes they never do. And they're like, and we spoke about this, like, if you lose less following a service, like say, for example, if you were punting on golf, you'd have no idea, right? And then you're following this service, or this guy says it's going to win, and then you punt on it and it loses. A lot of people will be like, oh, well, I would have lost anyway.
Yeah.
So at least this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe the next one will win. And I reckon so many services somehow make a living out of that exact thought process from punters, where they're like, well, I was going to lose anyway, So at least this guy knows what he's talking about, when in reality, they may have no fucking idea what they're betting on.
Well, I just messaged a racing service again, the second time in a week, Gerald Racing Tips, which I think someone else has spoken about. And I just literally asked, I said, do you have public results? And like he just said, like basically we just send out tips, and gambling is a world where no one wins, or if anyone's telling you have this success rate, it's wrong. And basically said we don't have results. And
Yeah, so
like, what the fuck
everyone's
are we doing?
losing, but like we're going to charge people and we're just going to lose anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. And this is like, I mean, it's nice to hear that from your end, but when you didn't know what it was first, did you think we were just idiots or speaking in another language when we're talking about units and stuff, or did you have any idea?
The first time?
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I only watched like 30 seconds of your 4-minute video, so I didn't really get a good concept of it. As
Yeah.
soon as I heard like units, horses, I was like, I don't bet on them, so I'm pretty good. Like, I don't really know. But I remember the previous person I described to, I couldn't even find like one of the names that he sent out in the tips. Like, I didn't know what spot it was, so I just looked it up on Ned's, like just looked up the
they
name
got
of
the
it.
search function.
And then I was,
yeah.
and then I was like, all right, $10 on him, he's gonna win.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
like,
sure I didn't win it.
And
You
so
just
what was the changing point, or how did you end up subscribing? You
So-
watched more videos, saw more content, like what was it?
Yeah, so you guys just popped up on my Instagram one day. I was working night shift, scrolling through Instagram, and you guys come up, and it was kind of like a twist of fate, because I usually listen to podcasts on night shift, and I didn't have any. I'd run out because I'd done like 5 nights in a row, so I'd run out of podcasts to listen to. Saw you guys on Instagram, thought, all right, well, I've been on a losing streak now. Like the AFL's finished. I don't even know how much money I would have lost during the finals. Too much. And then I sort of ended up betting on the NFL because I watched that a little bit. And then I just kept losing and losing and losing. And I was like, oh, God. And I said, your favourite line, I'm due for a win soon. Due for a win. Nah, you're not.
legit though.
Or what, you're going to get $50 back of the 1,000 that you've bet? Like,
Yeah.
it's not really a win, is it? And then I ended up finding you guys on Spotify and binge one of your podcasts at work. And the turning point was like your passion. Like when you speak on these, like you can't fake it. You can't, like, you fake it for 10 minutes, but
Well, you're going to get like the paid actor comments in your TikTok for sure.
yeah, sorry.
So-
I'm definitely a big fan of you, so it's cool to be here. But if you want my BSB number, you just let me know.
So yeah, now people are gonna fucking think that that's real as well. So you listen to a podcast and then you were like, what? Oh, okay, like maybe these guys know what they're talking about, or maybe these guys can help me, or maybe these guys are making money betting. So what, did you listen to more podcasts?
Yeah.
I know that I remember like distinctly seeing that you followed us on Twitter. Like, what was the turning point? When was it like, fuck it, I'm gonna actually invest some of my money in this?
So I think I binged. Your podcasts only go for about 40 minutes to an hour. So I binged 3 of them in a night shift, and I was like hooked. You guys are gonna get so many bad comments. And I was like, you know
We don't
what?
care
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna buy it. I jumped on my phone straight away. Went out the back to work. Jumped on my phone. Put in my details. Realized you need your bank card. I was like, oh no, it's in the car. So I couldn't buy it. I thought I'd maybe use Apple Pay. I couldn't buy it. And then I listened to a few more of your podcasts just on work, and I was like, like sort of went down the rabbit hole of match betting and stuff, and sort of just did some research at work. And then I was like, these guys are really onto it. And I thought, if I can just stop depositing into my accounts, I'd be happy. Like, that's a win. Like, I don't care what else you guys have to teach me. Like, I don't care if you tip and you lose, which I think happened the first time I subscribed. I think we went minus.
Yeah, the Saturday -6 or maybe, and then the -2 on Melbourne Cup Day. But
Yeah.
obviously that's turned around already, plus 15 cents or 18 cents or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting to
Good
hear. Like, you just wanted to stop depositing, and for most
Yeah.
punters, they would probably struggle to admit that, but deep down, that would be massive for a lot of people. And yeah, I think someone else said that too, watching Poms, because Pom hasn't really put money in since he's gone through what he's done. And someone's like, if I can do that,
Yeah,
that'd
they
be
said
fucking
that
elite.
they like, that is a huge success for me. Like, if I don't have to keep depositing every week, then
Yeah.
something's going right.
Yeah, I think it was probably getting worse. My friend, she just got signed and she's playing AFL, and I was putting hundreds of dollars on her to kick goals. Just like
Yeah,
her
right.
success is my success. Like, I wanted to win. She did. I know, it's horrible. And you can't tell them. So I can't say to her before a game, give her a ring and say, hey,
Yeah,
make sure
of
you kick
course.
2.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, I've had a bad week. You fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Take
start
him to-
abusing
take him
her
to
in
the
the DMs
cage.
on a fake account as well.
yeah.
No, but like, let's go back. I want to know how much, like, if you want to share this, how much you actually were losing. Is it in the hundreds, in the thousands, in
Oh.
like, for a week, for a month? Like, did it start low and get bigger, or was it just consistent?
Well, Apple Pay is really dangerous because you don't actually see the money go in and out of the account. So I'm not really depositing. Like I just put a multi on 15-leg multi thinking, here we go, I'm going to win, put $10 on it. So it just come out of your bank. And I think I started noticing it when you're earning, X amount and I'm meant to be saving this much and I wasn't. And then it got to a point when I actually took a bit of time off work. So I was only working like 2 or 3 days. And so I'm earning less money, obviously. And I'm still depositing. And I was like, I thought like I had a point where I'd say, I'm only earning X amount. I'm not going to deposit anymore. But then my mate started playing AFL and I started dipping into that more and, just started betting more. And I was like, maybe I don't have a stopping point. Like maybe I don't have the will, which just sounds stupid because I know everyone and my partner's the same. He just says, if you don't want to gamble, don't gamble. Like it's so easy. Like don't deposit. Like you're at your own fault. You're putting on your own bets. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just a bit of fun. Like you see the little number down the bottom and you think $10, I can make that into $1,000 in a game. Like that's amazing, isn't it? Like that's like free money.
It's so funny that you say that because so many of the comments are like, these guys aren't helping anyone or whatever. Like if there's nothing wrong with Sportsbet doing these ads because if people don't want to bet, then don't bet.
Yeah.
And it's like, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. For you, I'm sure it does. And like for myself and JP and a lot of other people, yeah, that's fine. We don't need to bet. Like we don't have the urge. But even some of my mates or other people that I know, they don't have that self-control. And if you don't have the self-control, those ads are triggering. We've spoken to so many people like sitting on the couch Friday night was like, I'm going to be good, whatever. And then they see, Brownie's multi or Daisy Thomas tell them that this is a sure thing, Brendan Goddard. And they're like, oh, fuck, it's just $10. I'll just have $10 on it. And it's just, as you said, Apple Pay goes straight in. You don't even have to like move money around or put in card details, nothing. It's just straight in, so streamlined. And all you're looking at is, fuck, it's only $10. And if, these 5 legs get up, you beauty. I've got $300. That's my beers and my weekend paid for. Like, it's so easy to go down that path and it's very, very hard to stop. It's a slippery slope. And then when you do win, the money that's in your account, it doesn't kind of feel real. It's just numbers sitting there. Cool. Now I've got, another 10 attempts to make it into even more. And that's, yeah, it's nice to hear you say that because I'm sure a lot of punters feel the exact same way. Like, yeah, I know it's dumb, but I keep doing it because it just happens. It's just a habit, really.
But what do you mean by Apple Pay though? Isn't it just the same as normal?
Yeah, so when you put in money in your account, you just click your 2 buttons on the side and it just goes straight in.
As opposed to putting the CVV in.
Yeah,
because you got like Face ID and shit.
Yeah, you don't have to deposit
It's
or anything.
so streamlined. It's madness.
To be honest, for me personally, when I follow like the system or something and I need to deposit, I actually love it for that reason because it's quick. But for someone who can't control themselves, it would be shit house because it's just bang bang.
That's exactly why it's there.
100%. So have we turned off Apple Pay on our website? We should turn it back on.
It's
Is
much
it off?
easier.
Well, it must be because she said she wanted to do Apple Pay and it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
but we had issues linking the email. But no, I'm just taking the piss. We don't want people. I mean, they're buying something that works. So
yeah, it was because everyone had like some people that had like old school Apple
old
IDs
emails
from like 10 years ago, and they'd use it, and then they're like, I can't log into the website. I don't know what that email is, and it's like, oh.
But we've got no welcome email anymore. It's all website, so it should be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, so you're into what, 3rd week in now or 2nd week? Or month?
3rd, maybe.
Yeah, 3rd. I was going to say 3rd or 4th.
I think I signed up just before Cup, like just the end of October.
Yeah, so you bought a 3 monthly, and then I think I spoke to you because Kay has taken you customer service. Is that right?
Kim?
Kim.
Yeah.
Well, Kim on your customer service. Everyone's got a personalised coach now. We're trying to build each person to have one.
That's cool.
So she'll be yours unless that changes. She's being trialled at the moment. And... Well, no, like we're just trialing like 6
put her on notice on the podcast. There you go.
Well, we've got like 6 people being trialled. So at the time she's being trialled. So
cool.
I think you sent a message saying something about you went and did the free course on your own accord and then you were interested in what was coming. And then I sent a voice to kind of follow you up.
Yeah, so joined
you can tell the story. Yeah.
I obviously binged the systems videos on the Wednesday and then we had a bet. It was pretty fun to watch the horses. And then I will listen to a podcast probably the next night at work. And I actually didn't think there was a difference between you guys. I thought you were all just one place. I didn't realize you had your own corporation. So I ended up sort of looking into you because you said it's doing a disservice. And I was like, wow, that's like, I've obviously already fully invested into you guys for 3 months. So I was like, well, what does he have to offer? So I went through and sort of had a look at your stuff. And I was like, I'm going to deposit, like I'm going to invest into JP's system, Hussla. And it was so rewarding. And obviously you sent me the message saying, obviously because I am a female, we do get profiled a lot. 'Cause
Literally, yeah.
I don't know what the reason is. I guess like you could like sexism. Like you could say we're meant to be smarter, or we're meant to be better with our money, or we're meant to be not go on the pub having a punt. But
Well, that would
Almost
be
as simple as-
it would be why less females bet, because you are not like men. Like,
But
you
then
are a bit
also,
more clued
like,
in.
normally it's the other way around. Like a male might use his girlfriend's accounts
Yeah,
for
of course.
promo abuse, and then they assume that that's a bowler account or a fake account, which is that's why you're profiled like that. And stereotypically, there are less females punting for sure.
Yeah,
So
and that's
then when they
because they're
see
fucking smarter than us.
yeah, and when they see profitable punters that are females, they're rare. And then obviously they flag it, and some companies will just flat out not give you promotions from day one. There's probably one or two in there. So that's why having the extra defense and sustainability is going to be a massive weapon for you. It's not required from day one, but you chose to do it, and there is an advantage for you to get in. If you know you're going to get into it straight away, we tell everyone to get into it from day one if they can afford it. And you've obviously pulled the trigger on both, which now you're going to have the best of both worlds from day one. And in 6-12 months' time, you'll be literally laughing. So we look forward to seeing that.
I'm really excited to see where I go.
But in terms of, okay, so far you're in 3 weeks in. You said that you're enjoying everything. You haven't probably made that much money yet. Have you made, how much you've made yet so far?
Like I think on Saturday I did like filled it all in like the spreadsheets and whatnot. I think I was like $600 up.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
And that's just from like combined Hussla and the system, or just the system?
Mainly the system. I just finished your content the other day.
okay, so-
and I'm going back to watch some of it because a lot of it's quite a lot.
Yeah,
to
we're revamping it at
intake.
the moment to make it a little bit more less
Streamlined.
confusing. It's a little bit, it's correct, but it's a bit maybe
All over the
confusing if you don't know exactly where to go.
Yeah, and it's just it's a lot of content, which is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, knowledge wise, educational wise, it's really great, and it's 100% worth the money. If I was you, I'd probably pay more.
Well,
That's
this is
actually
funny
yeah,
because
that's so funny you say that.
we cop it a lot. Like, oh, what the fuck, $1,100? You can learn it on YouTube, and you can't because you don't going to
No.
learn defense on YouTube. You might be able to turn out a bonus over, and all that free content is
you
on
could
YouTube,
definitely
right?
learn that, yeah.
But people just have no idea about the defense stuff, and this is why people get banned in 3 months. But I mean, we're not going to try and
What,
prove.
you guys have what 60 modules? Is that right?
I'd say
Something
yeah,
like
but I
that?
don't know the
59
exact
something?
number, but it's above 50.
50
Just-
plus videos, 4 modules.
For-
Four
So
modules?
4 modules, 50
Yeah.
sections, yeah, and probably like 40 to 50 videos. I'd say probably like 15 hours of content or something. So yeah,
Yeah, I remember obviously
It's
going
not a
through your
PDF, that's for sure.
no,
Like, you don't just buy a PDF and have a read through it and then
Yeah.
you're ready to go. Of course, it takes some time and effort, and that's that's the thing that I think we don't shy away from or hide from, even at the system. Like, you can't just join and start betting and making money. You need to. Some people are in the position where they've been betting through their accounts for a while, and they're probably in a position where they can start following. But you still have to go through, even just with the system, 2.5 hours worth of videos. You're going to get some questions and voice recordings from us as well, where you have to answer the questions, and then we will provide you some more structured advice. Like, it's not a tipping service where you just join up, get the tips Saturday morning, load them up, and make money overnight. Like, we're not here to sell people the dream. That shit doesn't exist, unfortunately, and people do look for that. But the ones that are you don't have to be switched on, but the ones that are genuinely interested in changing how they're punting, or genuinely interested in, all right, how can I use my accounts better? How can I make a consistent profit? How far can I take this? They're the ones that we want as part of our community, and you're the ones that end up being really successful and reaping the rewards. No one's making money overnight in this game. Like, it just doesn't
well,
exist.
You can, but there's a consequence of that.
Yeah, of course.
But of course, yeah.
But I remember I was watching your content, and mainly because yours is only 2 hours, which isn't too much, but some people struggle to do it. I see on the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
But I was watching yours, and I remember thinking to myself, like, what the average wage is what, $20 an hour. He's put in hundreds and hundreds of hours work for this. I was like, he is not getting paid enough. Like, to get what you get for $1,000, like, that's how much it is.
It takes a while to fucking put those videos together, but like, we're not looking for.
And like the knowledge, the experience, I was like, oh, this boy is not getting paid enough. Sorry, mate.
Gee, TikTok they're gonna love that as well. But it's not even about the money. It is funny, and we were talking about this the other day. Like, we used to get upset or frustrated by the comments on TikTok because we'd be like, fuck these guys, like, they're calling us scam, or they're saying that this shit isn't worth it. Like, these guys have no idea. They clearly haven't gone through anything. They're just salty losing punters. And now, like, they might still comment them, but we're like, it doesn't matter now. Like, there's 500 Platinum Squad members. There's 515 system subscribers. Like, we're big enough now where it's like, all right, do whatever you want, say whatever you want. We don't care, because A, you're boosting the algorithm, and more people that are going to learn from it and benefit from it will see it. And B, if these people took 10 minutes out of their day to go through some of our free content, to watch a podcast, like, you know, we're not sitting here trying to fleece some dumb punter to try and make some money out of them.
No, well, the aim of these podcasts is not also to get more subscribers and fill our pockets. We know that's going to happen anyway as a byproduct of putting out more of this shit. It's more just to build relatability, I think, to show more people that they can be you or they can be Pom who's made 130k in 2 years, or even if you're just making 20k or even 10k or just stopping losing. Like, everyone has a different, I guess, where they've come from. And yours is probably the most unique that we've put out because it's female, first female on here. But I want to know, because I personally haven't seen or know of any girls that have punted. I know Tom has, and that probably sounds like I don't really speak to girls at all, because I'm sure they do.
Because you've got a missus.
Well, yeah, but like, I've never really hung around with girls that have bet before. And I was really shocked to hear you, because you said a lot of your friends just fucking lose constantly.
Yeah.
And I want to hear, like, firstly about that, but also what they're saying now when you've told them this.
Oh, so my friend was playing footy on the Saturday, and I think I joined up with you guys on the Wednesday, and then Saturday we had a big day, and then I went there, and I remember just raving about you. I can't wait for the comments. I was just like, you should see what these guys are doing. Like, they're just incredible. Like, I haven't deposited this week. I've got so many accounts. I'm doing this and this and that, and they've taught me how to do that. Like, obviously, just gone off me nutter about it. As you can tell, I like to talk. And I was telling them all, I was like, stop gambling, like, stop wasting your money away, stop throwing it away, like, join these boys, they're great, like, you know, do it for this and that. And a lot of them, it was like, oh, it's not going to work. Like, oh, you let me know in a month. And I always get the comment, like, the girls will ask me on Saturday, what are you doing? And I'll send them a Snapchat, and then I always get, like, one of my mates goes, oh, but how much have you lost? Or like, how many lose? And I said, well, it's profit. So we don't win every bet, but we're always going to be profitable. So I've deposited obviously more, but I'm profitable $600. So I'm not losing. I'm not down. Like, we lose. Like, you guys don't pick every winning horse. That's
Of course.
unrealistic. You're not. What's the guy from Back to the Future? Is it Buck?
Fuck, I'm not a
Vic?
big movie man. No.
You've never watched
Yeah.
that?
No.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think I've watched it either.
Nah.
Don't have time to scratch my
I've not
arse.
watched a lot of movies that people laugh when I say I've never watched. That's one of them.
Yeah, so well, basically he goes Back to the Future, comes back, picks a winning horse, wins millions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys aren't doing that.
Well, no, we don't claim to either. Like, that's not how you invest. It's investors don't win 100% success rate. So yeah.
But that mindset of your mates, that's the general mindset. That's a lot of the time why people will be like, this is a scam. I'm not subscribing to these guys. I'm not doing match betting because you can't make money punting. That's what everybody thinks. So, and the other thing is that a lot of the time through punting, everybody will show you their wins, but never show you their losses. So nobody thinks that anybody's making money. Because it's like, cool, I'll see a bet slip from one of my mates. Wow, you won $1,000. Like, that's sick. But I know that you've placed, $100 bets before that. So you're not in profit.
No.
And most people will think like that. So when they see that you're making profit or hear that, sure, you had a profitable week, that's why they're like, tell me in a month, or how have you been going a few weeks before that? Because nobody thinks that you can make money. And that's the biggest, I reckon, barrier to entry, because people just truly don't think that you can be profitable.
Well, then the people will say, give me your slips. And for us, we like, fuck, slips. Like, bro, that's how you get scammed. Like, show us a statement or show us a spreadsheet or show us all of your bets. And you could do that because you're probably tracking them all. But people wouldn't want to, like, they wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, you could have just faked it. They wouldn't even want to see it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They'd rather see one winning
Correct.
bet slip than a history of bets or any bets recorded or a spreadsheet, because, you can make that up. And it's like, bro, I can also place $50, $20 bets and just send you the 2 that win, and you're going to think that I'm a gun, and you don't see the 48 others. Like,
well, most match bettors might place, I'd say, how many bets you place in your first week or couple of weeks? Probably 200.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, imagine you got all your winners in that and just posted them. People would think you're a fucking genius.
Yeah.
But that's not how match
Start your
betting
own
works.
service.
You literally, like, you have to post 200 of them, profit, loss, whatever, and that would be more accurate. But obviously that's not how it works. We're placing so many bets, whether that be a non-promo bet where we're hedging it for sustainability, or whether that's a system bet, or whether it's, I don't know, something else that you're placing throughout your history of your accounts. All that we care about, as you said, is profit and loss. And that is
bottom line in the long term.
bottom line, correct. And a lot of people struggle to actually understand that, believe it or not. Like for example, when you were betting and gambling, you probably didn't even think about how much you're up or down. You just think about what your next bet is.
Yeah.
And until you realise you'd probably in dreamland.
Well,
But-
99% of punters would have no clue what their profit and loss figure is, what their bottom line is.
Maybe
They'd know that
maybe
they
90,
would know that
yeah.
they're down, but they're not sitting there going, geez, over the last 12 months, looking at my bets,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm down 21k. Like
No,
no
it's
one
not
knows.
objectively measured.
They
It's
don't.
just like, oh,
they
I'm
don't
down.
know that. They just know that they're down, and they get paid. They get their wage goes in $1,200 for the week. I might lose 200 of it. That's all right. I'm down on the punt anyway. Might win.
Yeah.
But if you like look back at it, like imagine every punter, and we've said this so many times, imagine every punter on like Twitter or on their Instagram or whatever, if everybody could see your profit and loss, like how different would punting be? Imagine if everybody, like all your mates, the exact position.
Just like a number on your
someone
head.
said, imagine that.
Well, they're
But-
saying they want to do that for people who go to the pokies to show like your history or your turnover so that you can get barred after a certain point. But
yeah, they're trying to cap it. Like in
Wasn't there an ad like
Tasmania,
that?
they're trying to
Yeah.
cap it at like 5k for the year.
They're trying to do it. That's,
I think there was an ad, wasn't there? Like at the pokies, and someone walks in and it's like there's people sitting on the machines and it says like on the top of it.
Oh,
A
well,
minus number or
it would
something?
be
Have you
it would
seen
be the easiest way to wake people up if you
Yeah.
logged into your sports bet account and it had to have your lifelong profit and loss in the top right hand corner and you couldn't hide it. It'd be pretty hard to log in and be like.
Sportsbet's revenue would go down by 50%.
Imagine if you're
tomorrow.
like log in, you're like minus 40k and you're like lifetime, and you're like, probably I'm not gonna have another 100 in here. Like that's how easy it would be. But people just, even now that people are they're sending out statements, people don't even look at them.
Oh, I can't even read it. I've watched your video and I was like, I'm not
They've
even
changed
gonna
it
read
since
it.
then, probably because of that. But
Actually, I
they've-
think I got a really good one from it might have been Bet Nation, and it was like minus $44, and I was like, yes, that's sustainable. That's good.
Well,
I'm
some
happy
of
to be
them,
minus
some of
in
them
it.
are. Most
Might
of the
be
bookies
correct
do it.
now.
Yeah, most of the bookies do it correctly, and I'm pretty sure Sportsbet
Sportsbet
changed
fixed
it.
yeah.
But yeah, those initial ones were a disgrace.
Well, imagine if you got like a bank statement. Like your bank was like this, like these are your apps. Here's your like from NAB. Here's your bank statement. You've spent $1,000 in the last month depositing into internet work.
Well, maybe we should make an app for that.
I mean, like
Could you
for
imagine?
example, I use like Up Banking.
That would tell you. Yeah.
That's a little plug. Sponsor me up. But they like you can see in your entertainment, for example, like if I have a big month of match betting or whatever, and I've put like 2k in, it'll be like my entertainment is like you've got $500 into your TAB, $500 into your sports bet,
Oh, does it
$500
split
into your net.
each?
Yeah, you can see
Oh.
where
For
it's
like
gone.
CBA, I know.
Oh, no, it doesn't split the totals, but like
is
it'll show you
entertainment.
for the month. No, it'll have like the sports bet logo,
goes
the tab
another-
logo.
oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can actually see it. So,
right.
but again, people aren't going to be looking at that. Like,
That's amazing.
why would you want like you don't? None of the people that are doing that want to know, so they're not going to look at that.
Yeah.
But if you did, it'd be a fucking wake up call for a lot of people for sure.
Well, my bank doesn't do that. My bank doesn't even divide where my money goes. It just comes up with a statement.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm
bank-
sure
Minus-
not all banks would do it, but I mean, like people would have access to be able to check that, and they won't because what you don't want it. If you don't know, like out of sight, out of mind, like just be ignorant to it. Otherwise, yeah.
It's funny you mentioned tracking. One of my friends, like my best mate, she has in her phone notes from the first time she deposited some pokies, and every time she's put on a bet, she's gone and put like sports bet $50.
Oh, that's pretty
Pokies,
good.
Oh, and she
$50.
tracks it all.
So yeah, from her first bet, like if we go to Crown, she'll be like $100 cash.
That's awesome.
And so she knows up or down, and I have always been so envious that she
Yeah.
knows that. Like she tracks every bet that she's ever placed, every pokies, so she knows if she's up or minus. So I could like I'm going out for dinner with her tonight. I could say, how much are you up? And she'd say, oh, 50, or she'd say, oh, I'm down 100.
Is she
It's-
down or up?
I couldn't tell you. I'll ask her tonight. I'll
Yeah,
let you
ask
know.
But no, you could go back and check yours. Obviously, if it was all online, I don't know if you've pokied in casino. Who cares, really? Like, I don't know.
I don't poke. I don't understand it.
Yeah, well,
But the casino, I'll go to. But it's cash gone. Like you don't.
yeah, if you're not tracking it, it's pretty easy to go. But like sometimes, I mean, casino. I haven't been for I reckon like 8 years. I mean, it is fun to go to the casino, but I'm not going to go there
Are
and
you
blow
banned?
15 grand. No, like if I'm going to go there,
Last time I went to the casino, I got headbutted.
did you?
Broke my nose. Yeah.
Headbutted by who?
In a nightclub at the casino.
Did they know who you were, or just random?
No, some random guy.
But you walked in and
Just
said,
headbutted you.
So they like shoved me in the back, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
How
I was
long
like,
ago
"Do I
was
know
this?
you?" And then he just grabbed me, bang. Oh,
think I
like
remember
20,
this.
like I can't remember now,
Like 2, 3
2016.
Oh,
No, ages ago.
ages.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
like broke my nose 2 places. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Fuck.
yeah, got a payout and everything. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it was a full. It was a fill
you
up.
go back to
fill
the-
up in the end?
did you go back to the casino and bet it?
Nah, I was like, I'm never gonna. I haven't been to Crown since. It was ages ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but most like when you go to Crown, you expect to lose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
well,
not really?
I've been on the table before. I don't really go anymore, but before I started betting, because now it's more convenience on your phone. But before I used to go, I remember sitting at the table. Me and my friend would be there for hours because there's no clocks. You don't realize. and it's just a fun time with your mates. And I remember sitting there, like, your deposit, like, you'd go with a couple hundred, and then you'd be even at the end of the night, and they'd be like, okay, let's go home, and I'd be like, oh, put it on red. Like,
Correct.
I'm not
Correct.
going back to the
Yeah,
check here to get the same money I bring here with. Like, that's pointless.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you lose
how
it.
everybody bets on the horses as
That's
well.
literally like the staking plan there. You didn't bet 200 like for the whole night. You probably bet, I don't know, $5 on every bet, and then you'd fucking 40 times your stake.
But it's not even the staking. It's literally the mindset of, I know I'm going to lose. So it's the same as like betting on the horse. Say, for example, you put $100 in for the day and you've got 40 left or whatever. Instead of going, I've only lost 60 today. Well, I thought I was going to lose 100, so I'll have 40 on the last race. That's you're spot on. Or even if you put 100 in and you've got 130, you're like, oh fuck, what's
Why would it
what's
take out
$30 going to do? So you have 130 on the last race. So many people do that, and it's just fucked.
I was thinking of this in the shower today. I think of all sorts of shit, but basically, I was thinking. Some guy wrote, I have his new sub, and he said, I win on sport, but then I give it all back on racing. And I was thinking, like, hang on, how does that work? And I think I don't know the exact turnover. I'd love to get someone researching this on. Would be able to find it. The ratio of profit and loss on turnover for sport, and then ratio of profit and loss on racing for punters, and the racing profit and loss would 100% be like way worse for punters.
Yeah, but mainly because market percentages, I would say.
Yes, but also when you bet on sport, that match finishes in 3 hours
Yeah.
versus
It's not-
fucking 2 minutes.
Yes.
You can get on your phone now. There'll be 4 races in the next 10 minutes, whether
the
that be
Valley.
harness, greyhound, whatever. Right? You go on your phone. You could have 4 thrill-seeking punts in 10 minutes. On sport, you're going to watch a match for 3 hours, so you're most likely not going to lose as much. Generally, like obviously depending on what you're doing. But racing is a fuck because like you see the horse lose and then you go again and then you see
You
the
can
horse
impulse bet.
win. Correct, and it's designed to be next in run. You sit there on a Saturday, every race after, I don't know if you've watched the races yet, but it's just race after race after race for like 10 hours and then it's done. But I was thinking, fuck, that actually makes a lot of sense and I haven't really done much on it. But
Well, we spoke about that. That's why they bought in Sportsbet, bought in the tracker, so you can track your multis, because the longer you spend on your app,
Correct.
or you're like, fuck, this multi's going well, I'm gonna have $150 to, like, this is gonna win. So I've got $40 in my account. I can bet that I'll still be up 110. Like it's genius. Like the longer you're on the apps, the more you're gonna be betting. It's like when you walk through, you go to the checkout. When you go to the self-serve at Woolies, you walk past, all the chocolate bars, all the gums, everything on sale, all the soft drinks, Powerades, because all these things you can consume instantly.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck, I'm a little bit hungry, or I've done all this, like, I'm just going to grab this. It's the exact same as when you look through your betting app. What's next? Where's the specials? How long do they, they have the countdowns, goes red when there's less than a minute. Like, they're so
Perfect.
smart. It's so smart.
So after hearing like, okay, you were a gambler, like I don't think you're an addict, I wouldn't say.
No.
Maybe like on a spectrum, probably starting to have some kind of addictive tendency towards it. I don't know if I'm putting words in your mouth.
It's just a habit.
But how now have you, like, what does it seem like looking at that? Like, do you still have the urge to gamble, or do you not give a fuck about it anymore?
No, well, it's going to be interesting when AFL comes back. I don't think I will, because we hedge all the time. So you're constantly betting on different sports already, because you're always hedging your bonuses. So I just enjoy watching the sport now, which is great.
Even like watching the sport just from a sport watching, not from a punting.
Yeah, the other day I watched the cricket, the 2020, because I had a hedge on, and the biggest worry is what accounts are going into. Yeah. It's not oh my god, I'm going to lose $50 on this. It's, well, is my bonus going to get up, or is my hedge going to get up? Which, it's great. It's so less stress. Like, I don't have to worry. I don't have to concern myself. I know I'm making this X amount of profit. It's coming in my bank either way. I don't have to care about it.
That's awesome to hear, because like a lot of the stress and anxiety around the Platinum Squad members is literally where their money's ended up. Like, because they want an account to be zero because that one's winning, or this one keeps winning and they want it to get it down. And that's something that is like a first world problem, I guess, for gamblers. Like, obviously, gamblers aren't worrying about that. They worry about the next win. But it's interesting to see that now that's already changed to that.
I've got a question now, like working through where you've started, where you're going. You said that initially when you joined the system in Platinum, you would consider it a success if you weren't depositing anymore. You've now been in the communities for like 3.5 weeks. Obviously, you have a better understanding of how everything works. What would you consider a success now? So in 12 months' time, when you're still here, still following the system, still going through and using all your match betting knowledge, obviously that your expectations, I hope, have now changed from, I hope I don't deposit anymore, to like potentially a profit figure. Like, what would you consider a success now in 12 months' time?
Well, I was talking to you before, sort of, that I don't want to up my unit scale up too much, obviously, being a female and being a bit more sustainable. So I want to make a few more accounts, sort of, and just, coach them into looking genuine.
Yeah. No, that's
so
fine.
I don't
That's
really
good.
have a exact profit number, obviously, which I know I will, but paying the fees, because I'm going to continue, and just, making as much profit as possible. So I think you have to come back to me in a few months to know. Yeah. But if I can just make up more units, I'd be happy, and just continue to follow, continue to bet and stuff like that, and just have a good time. Like the stresses that are gone from having to worry, oh my God, like I'm down $100 on a Friday night game. Okay, well Saturday's coming, so I better deposit then, and I'm going to check out the market, what a player's doing, what's happening here. And then there's a really funny bit I seen on Instagram, and it was this comedian, and he goes, oh, I'll be watching it with my wife, the bet, and she goes, it's just a game, stop screaming at the TV. And he's like, bitch, you don't know we got the house on this. Like, we've got rent running. Like,
But
shut up.
it's true. That's how people seek thrill, seek entertainment, and that's what sport comes down to. It's not, they're not even watching it because their team's on or that they like it. It's just because they've got fucking money on it.
Well, yeah, I remember me and my mate, she took me to the Collingwood-Geelong prelim, and massive Collingwood supporter. Love it. Love the boys. Love everything about them. And oh no!
Fuck that! I was at that game and fucking rode that last goal home. Big Maxi.
Oh,
fuck them.
And okay, I'm feeling a bit of hostility now, but whatever.
That's because we're salty and we go for shit clubs. So
North Melbourne, St Kilda.
Oh, you're getting there.
Yeah.
You got Ross Lyon.
Yeah. Could be good.
And
could be bad.
It's the most bizarre feeling. I'm sure you guys would have felt it. Sitting at a game, wanting your team to be successful, to go into the next round, like it's finals, you want to win, and hoping Jeremy Cameron gets 5 goals. Like he doesn't play for you. Like you're sitting there thinking, oh, I want them to win, but oh god, I need Blitzer to kick a goal. I need Cameron to kick 2 more, and then they kick the goals, and you're like yes, and then you're like oh fuck, we're down.
That's
like shit. Like, and I'm sitting there with 100,000 or 90,000 were in the crowd. And you're not even enjoying it. You're constantly checking stats. You're constantly looking through your phone. You're constantly making sure your bet's going through. You're on Sportsbet watching the green go up. And you're like, shit, this is great. And then your team loses and you're like, I've lost and I've lost the game. Like,
yeah, and you've lost the enjoyment.
That would resonate. That's going to make a phenomenal TikTok clip because that is going to resonate with so many people that are sitting at a game and they forget to fucking enjoy the game. That's one of the best games of the year. There's 100k people there. What a thrill! It goes down to the wire. And you're right. There would have been 10,000 people sitting there praying for certain players to get the ball or certain players to kick a goal as opposed to actually enjoying the spectacle. And we were saying the other day, like it's all sport now is just associated with gambling. And some people are like, oh, it's good for the game. It's good for the brand. It's good. I reckon it's shit house. You can't enjoy the game. You're right. You're not even there for the game. You're just there to ride your bet. Like, yeah, that's very, very interesting to hear. I really like that. That's a really good summary and real life. That's a real good real life example of how it's fucking shit for you.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So, all right, we talk a lot of rubbish, repetitive stuff. I'm sure we get the comments all the time. You guys just say the same shit over and over again. Do you have any questions or random topics that you wanted to ask us on the spot? Or anything that we can do to improve generally from either service or... anything that you can think
I
of.
want to say right before that, so you can have 30 seconds to think. When we're going back on what your goals should be or, what you think is going to be a success, I know when we spoke to Pete, we said that, I said I'd be shocked and probably flat if he didn't make 10K. I'm going to give you a 20% discount because of some of the accounts that you may not be able to access because you're a female. Sexist, I know, but that's not our choice. So, yeah, I'm going to say I would be shattered if you didn't make at least $8,000 in your first 12 months. That's not to put pressure on you, but I just think
smoke that.
Is that a bet? Is that a bet?
We don't gamble here. But I'm saying that I'm very confident that I think that you're going to make at least $8,000 profit. And I'd be upset if you didn't. But at the end of the day, even if you made $7,999, it's still better than losing. And that's year one of what is hopefully a 5-10 year journey.
I'll happily pay the difference if she doesn't. As long as she does the work and doesn't fucking go and lose her money on gambling or something, then I'm having nothing to do with it.
Well, that's you want to have you want to have a target, and I think that you could easily achieve $8,000, easily.
Tell you what, next time we're at the pub, I'll let you know. And if I'm right, if I've made more than you say, then you owe me a beer, mate.
Oh, I'll happily get you a beer, but I have no doubt that you will be successful. And yeah, if you do things properly, which you have done over your first 3 weeks, that should be at least your target. So that's where I want to go with that. But yeah, again, now far away. If you have any questions, put us on the spot.
I don't really have any questions, and I'm sure we'll probably get quite a bit of comments from this. But I just I admire your work, your your customer service. It's really incredible. Obviously I work in customer service, so I sort of understand and have a pretty good what's the word, knowledge about it, I think. So
you can relate to it.
It's part of my job. I do it. I've done it for 5 years now. So to have you guys, like you say, it's success is easy if I do what I do. But I've messaged you guys at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you guys reply. That's phenomenal to me.
Nice. Now we're under the pump to respond at 2 a.m. Thanks for that.
That's okay.
No, but you're right. But that's what we pride ourselves on that. We think that that's a huge bit of added value because yes, the content's there. Yes, if you go through it, you're going to understand it. But having somebody there to walk you through it or to talk you through it, that's why the system, we're really heavily investing in current subscribers who have been with us for ages. We're investing in them to start working for us so that they can help new people along the journey. You've got Kim, there's going to be others that have others. We want to have 4 or 5. So when you join, you have the same person message you and welcome you, the same person answer all your questions, the same person follow you up after a week, and you have a personalized experience with them, an interaction with them, and that makes everything so much easier. And yes, the content's there, but if you have somebody that holds your hand through the start, I think it's going to make all the difference. And that's what we focus and, we pride ourselves on that.
We're getting personalised tutoring essentially.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. Which
we
don't advertise this and we should more, I think. Now we've started to make it.
Oh, 100%. I've messaged you and you reply instantly with a voice message this, answering my questions. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even expect you to reply.
Because sometimes I'm on my phone, sometimes I'm not. So you probably got lucky. But
I expect you buy the service, you get the tips, you get the videos, great. But to have questions, queries, anything, I've got a problem. I messaged you once about not being paid out instantly, freaking out. And you were like, just hold your horses. I think you replied at 5:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah,
6
I think
maybe.
you got lucky. I was
early.
up early that day.
Early.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was up early.
I went Friday morning.
No, but I saw it and I was like, should be freaking out. And I'm on my phone, so I'll respond. And we do prioritize subscribers. Because there'll be people watching this going, I sent Hussla a DM and they didn't respond to me for a day. And that's right. We get to subscribers first. Obviously, that's the priority. Once you're part of the service, you guys have our attention. You're paying for it, so you get it. And then we still get to everybody else. But yeah, we do prioritize getting back to subscribers extremely quickly because we don't want you guys guessing. We don't want you guys stressing. We don't want you guys making mistakes. But we also think it's a really easy way to build in trust. And then for you guys to go, fuck, this is worth it. This is so sick. These guys are really helping me. And I think it just helps everyone along the journey.
Yeah, I think after the first week, I was like, okay, sign me up for a year. I'm ready to go. These boys are... Because you can't fake it. You can't fake customer service. You can't fake your replies. It's phenomenal. It baffles me that you guys have time to do this.
Well, this is all we do. A lot of people tell us, they get a little bit weirded out by the fact that we do this full time. They're like, oh, but you don't work.
You just make TikToks.
You just make TikToks, you don't work. And it's no, this is what we do all
get
day.
In the community, ask the 520 subscribers.
A day that he has to reply to. And I don't envy his job. I used to do that for Hussla, now he does it for both.
And text messages.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they don't need a voice.
It's Telegram. But a lot of people will never reach out to know this. And someone the other day is like, oh, I'm like, mate, there's 25 hours of free content on our YouTube. Go watch it, or send us a DM. I'll help you. And he's like, yeah, but you'll charge me for that. That's not help. And it's versus someone like you who reaches out and gets free help. Mate, you're the opportunist because you reached out, and that guy's a victim because he thinks it's going to be paid. Just fucking DM us and see what happens. It's not.
That's what we want. That's why we put,
free.
Send us this message, or, a hater gets on the comments. Mate, just literally send us a DM.
Yeah.
We'll send you some content. I'll send you a few minutes of voice recordings, a couple of links to watch videos. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but you're not going to know until you try. So just flick us a DM and then you get some help.
So, all right, we'll finish off with 2 things. The advice to punters we'll leave at the end, but are you going to do the influencer stuff for us? You want to do that or not? You're not
sure.
Cool. So we're going to obviously make a PlatinumPete version of Hussla Hailie. So we want to kind of show people what's going on. PlatinumPete doesn't post too much. He's an older guy, but that's fine. He's vlogging his journey. We've got a 3-month check-in next Tuesday. But what do you plan to do with that profile? We'll probably make it an Instagram account, maybe a TikTok, who knows. But what do you plan to get out of that from your end?
Honestly, I just want to educate people. Like, don't lose your money to the bookies. Don't lose your money to just a, degenerate punt. Like, it sounds bad when you say degenerate. It probably comes up very hostile. But I want to help you guys educate. I think I owe you that. If anything, you guys have changed my life.
You didn't notice anything, but yeah.
But, just to help other people sort of see, like, be awakened, I think. I don't know if that's the right word. But just to help other people just be better. And if you invest in yourself, that's what it is. When you buy your system and you Hussla, you're investing in yourself. You wouldn't buy a gym membership, not go, and then say to them, I want a refund. I didn't get fit. You have to do the education. You have to do the work. You have to put in the time. Like, for instance, same example, if you go to the library but you buy a book, you're not going to take it back and say, well, I actually didn't learn what I wanted to learn out of this book. I want a refund. You've bought it, and I can tell you right now, you're not going to want a refund. Like, in terms of people that are doing it, you're going to want to keep doing it. You're going to learn so much valuable stuff. Like, you say in the Hussla Squad, education is so key. You're not just buying tips. Then that's you're not just buying tips. You're buying the educational stamp pack that you're going to have forever.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to educate your friends, your family. If you know someone's in a similar situation, you're going to tell them about it and just spread the acknowledgement to people.
That's the throwaway line that I use, like, for Hussla when I speak to people about Hussla Squad, is like, we will teach you how to fish, and then you go and fish, right? And it's like a tap. Match betting, once you understand how to do it, you can turn the tap on when you want to start doing it and making money, but you can also turn it off. You don't have to, like, people are like, yeah, but I don't have time to do it all the time. Mate, you don't have to do it all the time. Once you learn it, you've learnt it. It's like, become an accountant. You go work for an accountant for a while, be an accountant, and you want to go overseas, go and do whatever you want. You come back, you still know how to be an accountant. It's the same with match betting. So, yeah, it's really nice that you've said that and you feel that way, because that's what it is. You learn how to fish, then you go fish. And we're also not going to tell you where to go and fish like other services may do, because if we tell 500 people, use this promo, place this bet, go on this account, whatever. If we tell 500 people to go catch snapper in this one spot, you'll have 500 clowns all there catching snapper one. No one's going to get any. No one's going to get any snapper. So that's so good that you're investing in educating yourself. And not only are you going to get something out of that, and you're going to be a profitable match better. And as I said, I want you to make at least $8,000 in your first 12 months, but you're also not degenerate gambling anymore. And that, whether you're losing $50, $100 a week, and I fucking say this every podcast, but it's so true. If you're losing $100 every week, at the end of the year, that's $5,200 that you didn't lose. So if you make $8,000 this year and don't lose $5,200, you're actually $13,000 better off in 1 year. Do that for 10 years, $130,000. What's that? A house deposit and a half, whatever the fuck you want.
It's an expensive interest, isn't it?
Yeah, so it is. It's a very expensive hobby.
Well,
correct.
We interviewed Matt Hill. He said he bought a house from match betting. Half his deposit was $50,000 profit in a year, was literally bought a house. So and he was full on about to go down a rabbit hole. We haven't posted it yet, but yeah, that's what happens. It's literally like compare the pair, and it's like one's going down, one's going up, and at the end of it, it's like this. You're just further and further apart as time goes on. So, final message to punters. I guess you kind of already said that, but what would you just give if you had a 30-second snippet to put out there to everyone? What would you do?
You pay for what you get. So
you get for what you pay for. Is that what you say?
You pay for what you get. It's the same, but
okay.
So if people compare the pair, you compare your guys' stuff to anyone else's. You're paying $14.50. Like, what are you getting? You're getting some bets from some experienced people. Like you could easily say, oh, I watch AFL. I grew up in Australia. I love Collingwood. I know exactly what's going to happen. You don't. It's a gamble. It's a bet. You don't actually know, because the people in the rooms, they can't bet, and they're the only ones that actually know what's going to happen during the game. Like, and even then they're hoping.
They still, correct. They still, no one really knows. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen. So you can't beat the bookie on what you think. Unless you have a system or an edge or a method or a staking plan, you cannot beat the bookies. And it's why all punters lose. It's why all punters expect to lose and just accept that they're going to lose. So, yeah, last one, you can look down the barrel. What would you say? Like, if you got 20 seconds,
not even about our service.
Yeah, if someone's why do you love this so much? Why are you not going to gamble anymore?
Well, speak to yourself from, pretend you're speaking to yourself 2 months ago. What would you say?
Well, when I didn't subscribe to you guys, because I was subscribing to some of the girls, so it was a bit cheaper. Like I said, you pay for what you get. So if you're going to invest the money, invest the time, invest into yourself. Not only like these boys, obviously they're going to help you more, but I 100% think if you're weighing up between, okay, well, it's $200 I got to spend for 3 months, or $260 I got to spend for 3 months, or you're paying $14 a month, you're not just paying $14 a month, you're paying your deposits, you're paying your fees, you're losing money gambling. Like, it's not the way to go down, I think. And it's an expensive hobby to keep doing. And if you enjoy doing it and you enjoy losing money, I'll send you my BSB. You can just give it to me.
It's true. Yeah, honestly. Like, I say that to my mates. I literally say that to my mates when they put a multi on. Like, if you're gonna throw money away, honestly, you can just send it to me.
Yeah.
I'd say that I'll be your bookie.
Yeah, I said it to my partner. I was like, I said to him, gambling's like me giving him $10 and me expecting him to give me $100 back.
Yeah, and that ain't happening.
Correct. As much as he loves me, it's not gonna happen.
No, that's a good way to finish. I reckon.
So we'll make the username. How do you want to spell Hailie?
Don't put me on the spot. Is it like H-A?
Spell however you want.
There's that many
It's your
H-A-L-E-Y,
account.
H-A.
But they're going to be following you after this, and you're going to get a lot of followers.
How do you spell Hailie?
I reckon
H-A-I-L-E-Y would be.
Don't come at me because I don't know how to spell my name.
No, it's spelled like 4 different ways. You can do A-Y-L-E-E or A-L-E-Y or A-I-L-E-Y.
Or H. Oh, as in H.
Yeah, H.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how many Haileys are spelled without a H.
Hailie with no H.
It was assumed that.
Yeah, okay.
But if you
H
assume.
first. All right, so what? H-A-I-L-E-Y?
I reckon H-A-Y-L-E-E.
Okay.
But hey, like Hayley.
Hay?
Like hay.
Hay and then
You're
Lee.
spelling hay.
Yeah.
Like H-A-Y-L-E-E.
So Lee,
It's
like
like
the
a
brand.
horse.
Hailie. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Hang on, can I borrow your phone?
H-A-Y?
What do you mean?
I'll look up how I want to spell it because I
Okay.
know where I got the name from, like the person.
Oh, yeah. Just looked up Kyle Kuzma because he had a fill up today for my fantasy team. Surely it's H-A-Y-L-E-E or H-A-L-E-Y.
I like the one you said, but let's go with what she says.
H-A-I-L-I-E.
Oh, fuck. I've heard that one. What? All right, we can go with that. Doesn't matter.
That's fine.
Don't you know
It'll be
Eminem?
It'll be Hussla
What, is that who
Hailie.
you've just looked up?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who is
That's
it?
Some Hailie J, 2.9 million followers. I have no idea who it is.
That's
but-
Eminem's daughter.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Fucking hell. All right,
We got
we'll
no
go with
idea.
that. Let's go with that. Eminem knows what's up, so we'll go with that. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Done.
I'm looking forward to check-ins in like 3 months, and then again, just having your journey vlogged. I think it's going to be sick. I honestly hope that a lot of girls that gamble watch it and think, "Fuck, why don't I give this a go?" So I'm excited to see where it goes.
It's great.
Cool.
All right,
See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
I have to call you
What's
something
that?
else. Huh?
It's like thick.
Oh no.
Am I
Probably.
gonna have the runs on the way home?
What actually is that?
I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe to ask Nick.
Yeah, maybe it is.
What is that?
Surely it's just ground up coffee.
It
no?
is coffee.
I think it's like milk.
The end of the milk.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, but the milk's...
Did you shake the milk?
I'm gonna post this in the reviews.
Do it.
The boys tried to
No.
poison me.
If it's fine, send us the
It's moldy milk.
diarrhea bill. It'll be fine though. What?
Who's
Hey.
paying my bill?
Hey, you're fine.
Give it for free. I'm the one that gets paid.
Should we just call?